It's your logical libertarian here. And holy fuck. I have no guest with me tonight. One person that was going to be joining me later. He's in the hospital right now. I hope everything's okay. He should be okay. We'll see what's going on from then on. My friend Destry, he didn't get back to me. I don't think I gave him enough notice. So that's on me. I apologize, Destry, if you didn't get it. And I have no other really any guests tonight. So any of you who are watching are welcome to post in the chat. If you do want to join, I am willing to take callers on Skype. What I can have you do is I can have you say you'd want to, and then I can send you a personal message through Google or whatever, through the Google machine, but through Google, your Google Media, whatever the Google, what they use for Google Hangouts and that. I don't understand Google, but I'm gonna type live right now. But yeah, you are welcome to join me for it. You're welcome to ask any questions, to offer, hey, I'd like to come on and ask a few questions and have my voice. I'm going to be talking about the American election. And it's going to be okay. I'll be giving my thoughts. So, let me check some things real quick. Seem to be okay. All right. So, first off, unless he gets assassinated, Obama somehow decides to uphold his wall, or just keep for a third term joke, or it's proved that there was a problem with there was foul play at the ballot box. Donald Trump is our new president-elect. I never thought I would say that. I never thought Donald Trump would be the president of the United States. If you were to tell me, like when I was 18, hey, do you think Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton will be president of the United States first? I would have told you Hillary Clinton. By a landslide. But Donald fucking Trump. Now, what does this mean for America? Well, a few things. I've heard rumor that and I think he said that he'd like to try and advocate for term limits for Congress. And I think that that's a good thing. I think he made a promise to try and uphold the current rights of LGBT Americans that have been established, especially under the Obama administration. So I give him kudos for that, if that's true. It means that the social justice kind of shit that's going on, like up in Canada, with that bill C-17 or 16, shit like that, is going to be put on hold for the next 4 years. So there's good about that. So some bad things were stopped. Some good things have been proposed, or at least hinted to. However, there is still bad. Trump did make a promise to try and build a wall. Trump did make a promise to ban Muslim refugees and Arab refugees coming into this nation. Now, a lot of people don't know that the president can promise a shit ton of stuff, but they can't uphold most of those promises. The president isn't all-powerful. They have to work with Congress, who actually has far more power than the president. They have to work with the Supreme Court, and they have to work with every single state and city. You see, the spread of power is a lot larger, and I think we'll actually finally learn how spread power truly is. And I think it's a good thing. I think it's going to be a good lesson to all those hyped up liberals who have no fucking clue how the American government works or how the Constitution works. And it's also going to be a good wake up call for all those fucking, oh, I'm a red blooded American conservatives who don't know how the fucking Constitution works. They're going to learn how the Constitution works, they're going to see how everything goes, and just how not powerful the president really is. So one thing I would really like to see Trump, and someone else brought this up. I think it was I can't remember who it was. They brought up that a good thing Trump should do is maybe it was Sargon, was to pardon Snowden and to bring him back, and any other whistleblower. I think that would be a good sign. That would be a sign of solidarity with saying, I want to end corruption. I'm going to pardon whistleblowers and say, no, you call out shit. You see something bad, you call it out. And that would be in solidarity with the kind of lifting the curtain motif he had with some of his campaign. I think, too, advocating for term limits for Congress would be a definite good thing. And put Congress in an interesting position where these people would have to decide, okay, how do I want to vote on this? Because now they're kind of in a between a rock and a hard place. If you're going to vote in favor of term limits, well, now you've only got so many terms left as a congressional officer. But if you vote against it, you very well might not be reelected. That's where, you kind of put them in the hard place, and you call them on their shit. I think that would be good. That would be a good way to stand up against corruption. But I don't think he I don't know. I think closing Guantanamo Bay would be another good thing, something that Obama promised and never did. I think Trump should do. I don't think he will, because he said how he's so in favor of torture and so, he's kind of not quite anti-Muslim, but I personally wouldn't, put it past him being anti-Muslim. And the way he is with Islamic terror, I don't think he will. But if he were to release them and give them a trial and send the ones who are found not guilty and who are not American back home, one, it would also show that he's against corruption and gets shit done, and two, it would show that he's not hateful of all Muslims and all Arabs. And I think even you could argue a third point that would mean that he would have actually made more steps to combat Islamic terror than Obama or Clinton ever have. And what I mean by that is he keeping people you suspect of terrorism in indefinite detention in a torture tower like Guantanamo Bay, you are providing fuel for the fire for those recruiting. But if you release them and you hand them back and you say, no, I just want to send them back, they don't need to be here, we need to be not corrupt in doing that, you actually send a message to them saying, no, we don't view every single Muslim or Arab as a terrorist. We tried them and we sent them home, the ones who were not guilty. And it would be great. Do I think he will? No. But it'd be a good idea. And to be honest, Trump might be, he might have enough political ADHD to actually get it done. What I mean by that is Trump is not going to be so focused on, I got to do this, this, and this. It's going to be ideas that come, political flights of fancy, and him pursuing that and sticking with that. So right now it might be pushing that amendment for term limits. The next time it might be something else. The next time it might be the fucking wall and a war with Mexico. Who knows? And there is a lot of negative that can come about. I don't see him being as authoritarian, but I think he has just as much potential. And one thing that we also need to hold an account, and we need to keep him accountable for, is abusing his ability to enforce laws as a way to enforce um, not love of him, but respect for him. You know what I mean? Like, there's the possibility of the petty Trump coming out, the one that sued Bill Maher for $5 million, that type. Yeah, that could still come out, and that is dangerous. But that's it. That's really it. So, we'll see. And I mean, to be honest, if he ever does that, you just call him out and say, I thought you were in favor of free speech. I thought you were against political correctness. That's political correctness. And if he defends himself or whatever. But if he ends up doing that, you could then impeach him for abusing the presidency. So that's what it means to me for a Trump victory. It means, we'll get into that in a bit. But the Clinton loss. Why did Clinton lose? Well, if you're not essentially, if you're not an idiot, if you're not some extreme social justice warrior who thinks that the only people that voted for Trump are racists and sexists and hateful people, the main reason that Clinton, I think, lost was because she built Trump up as a boogeyman. That was her main campaign, never Trump. And that's not a campaign. Trump may have shit slung, but he just as much, if not more, propped himself up as a candidate. He provided platforms and ideas saying, hey, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to do. This is a problem. I have a solution. May not have been a good solution. May have been a piss poor problem or a misdiagnosis of the problem, but at least he had a solution. The same way Obama won. Obama was, I see a problem, I have a solution. I see a problem, I have a solution. May not have kept his promises, may have had bad solutions or misdiagnosed the problem, but at least he made it seem like he cared about getting shit done. That was one of the big things Trump had. Clinton was just Trump's evil, never Trump, Trump's evil, never Trump. I will bring jobs. I'm a woman. Those are her other two. And everybody says they'll bring jobs. However, most people know liberals are less good. They're less effective on economic policies. Now, conservatives are too. But liberals are pretty shit on economic policies. And to be honest, according to, I think, one of his manifesto, some of his platforms, Trump is actually in favor of more liberal ideas, helping out with education. I think he wants to make a bond, bring out a bond for education and stuff like. He had plans that people were like, oh, that's not too bad. I could live with that. You know what I mean? He had some plans that were like, well, shit, he wants to fix education. He wants to get, take money from other things to education. He wants to help the veterans. Okay? He wants to help make insurance cheaper. He doesn't want to do away with insurance at all. He wants to break down the state borders of the Affordable Care Act. And that's an improvement on the Affordable Care Act. So he actually spoke to a lot of moderates, which is why a lot of libertarians voted for him, why a lot of independents voted for him, why a lot of moderate liberals voted for him. That's what won him the election. Clinton was just trying to character assassinate him. He's vicious. He's a rapist. He's a racist. He's a sexist. He hates Muslims. He hates gays. He hates disabled people. He hates veterans. And while Trump has said some stupid fucking shit that would make you believe he thinks lowly of people, like what he said about McCain and what he said about Mexicans and, some of the things he's said to women in debates or in conversation, yeah, it's like, okay, you're an asshole, you're a fucking pig, you're disgusting. But at least he has plans. His personal, that's the thing. Your personal life should not matter when you're president. Clinton made it all about her personal life and his personal life. And that's the thing. You can't make politics personal. That's why Clinton lost. That's why SJWs are losing. Because they're trying to make politics personal. It's not. There's a big difference between your personal life and personal experiences and political shit and law and government. There's a big difference. So that's the thing. Clinton just had too much against her. Her biggest issue, I think, too, her second biggest killer that probably turned a lot of the undecided who were leaning towards Trump, was the tinfoil hat moment of saying that Russia's cyber attacking us and hacking the DNC and that we need to take military action against Russia because of that. I will take, so you'll go to war with Russia because you think they hacked your corrupt ass. No. No, no, no. That was the second big killer. If it wasn't her making Trump out to be a boogeyman and focusing too little on policy and platform and too much on the personal, it was that. And speaking of things that say that, chat rhymes with that, so let's check the chat. No one loves me. Oh well. Anyway, so you have that. Now, the reaction to this has been pathetic. I would expect so much more from people who claim to be educated, open-minded, tolerant, and level-headed. Rioting, blaming the third party. Yeah, we're gonna get on that for a bit. The first thing I heard, read, when Trump was announced the winner, was blaming of the third party and telling anyone who voted third party, Stein, Johnson, write-in, independent, whatever, who didn't vote Trump or Clinton, pretty much anyone who didn't vote Clinton, but also who didn't vote Trump, that they have explaining to do to quote-unquote people of color, which is fucking stupid, okay? Stop separating us by our fucking skin, you fucking racists. I cannot stand that. Dividing us by our race, making that some important character identity. It's not. Your race, your skin tone, how well you fucking tan has absolutely fucking nothing to do with your thoughts, with your ideas, with how you think, with what you believe. It has zip, zilch, nada. Okay? Your capacity to empathize, reason, rationalize, or understand has absolutely nothing with how light or dark your skin is. That is also a big part as why Clinton lost, because she represented that stupid bigotry, okay? You want to say Trump represents bigotry? No. Well, he does a bit. He represents the old white rich guy. The country club. What's it? Jake from Bible Reloaded put it well. It's not that blatant, like, hateful racist. It's more elitism than racism. And yeah, Trump does that. Clinton does it too. But Clinton also represents that fucking divisive, modern-day segregatory racism that is pathetic and sick and venomous and caustic to the fabric of civilized society. And I'm fucking tired of it. And after this, yeah, saying people of color. Yeah, because white people have nothing to worry about with Trump. white people aren't affected by a wall. You know, him having to come over and potentially start a civil war with a state because they refuse to put a wall up because that state doesn't consent to it. No, white people don't understand. Yeah, your color of your skin, yep, your character, completely different. And they said to LGBT people, which Pence, I understand. If it was Pence, Trump, and Pence won, yeah, you got a fucking point. Or if you dumbass liberals, one of you Black Lives Matter motherfuckers, fucking kills Trump, well, that would be one. That would be a sign that you are the stupidest motherfucker in the world for killing Trump and putting Pence up. If you don't get Pence and Trump, you're a fucking moron, and you deserve what you bring upon yourself. I don't deserve what you bring upon me because Pence is a fucking uber fucking Christian who would probably make this the fucking Christian Iran, and then me as an atheist, I'd be up shit creek too. Oh, but that doesn't matter. Me being an atheist doesn't fucking matter because, you know, it's just all about certain groups. Because I'm a white male, it doesn't matter. Yeah, blaming the third party. Let's go over that. Okay, one thing. Nationally, Johnson got 3%. You want to talk about crushing, demoralizing, and feeling disenfranchised? 3% of the vote. That's the biggest fucking minority in the country, other than being trans. According to that, voting Libertarian is just as much of a minority as being trans in the United States. See, trans people who want to be like, you don't understand. Oh, yeah, I do. I'm getting blamed either way. And getting hate and threats, unblocked, attacked, because of the way I voted. Yeah. Oh, and that trans, too. You know, I say that's a little liberal for saying it, because that includes people who identify as trans. You're not fucking trans, okay? You're not a man. You're not a biological man. Well, I guess you would say someone with male genitals with a female brain mapping, or female genitals with a male brain mapping. You know, you're whatever fucking helicopter shit you fucking claim to be that doesn't fucking exist. I understand if you're like non-gender, like androgynous, gender fluid, one of those. I understand that. Okay, that's fine. That makes sense. That we can explain. But gender non-binary makes absolutely no sense. Because now you're saying that there are other genders that are not male or female. You're not trans then. You're a new gender. But you can't explain that gender. And we ask you to explain it, you can't fucking explain it. Gender has to do with procreation. Gender has to do with with sexual reproduction. This is why I can't get past these people, because they're so anti-science. Trump's anti-science. No. Maybe a little bit because he's anti-vax and a fucking moron there. But you are anti-science if you try and say that there's only two genders, or no, there's more than two genders. You're anti-science. You don't understand biology. You don't understand evolution. You don't understand anything. You're just as stupid as when Ben Carson's like, oh, you're an atheist. You believe we came from monkeys. Why do monkeys exist? Oh, ho, ho, ho. Oh, you're a brain surgeon. How the fuck did you get your doctorate? You fucking moron. How can you understand the brain and not understand that it evolved? Seriously. Have you ever studied any other brains, or just that one? Do you have a brain? That's what you are. And that's the thing is, this reaction, the rioting, the being angry, and they're making it personal too. Every single fucking person has said, well, now that Trump got elected, and it triggered me to think of all the times that I was sexually assaulted, or all the times I was assaulted for my skin color, or my whatever. How? How does that have anything to do with it? There is no relation between electing a person and re-experiencing trauma. You're a fucking idiot. I have heard this so many fucking times in the last 48 hours. Sorry, as a victim of child abuse, as a victim of assault myself, I didn't get any triggering from Trump being elected and feeling like my vote didn't fucking count. Feeling like, oh, only mommy and daddy get to make a decision. I don't get to make a decision. I'm just treated like I'm a fucking kid. Oh, no, that didn't trigger that in me. Because I'm a rational adult who understands the difference between my personal past and a fucking election. I really cannot grasp the level of reality denial, the level of mental gymnastics, and the level of complete idiocracy that goes into accepting such ideas like that. And I understand, if you are upset because you didn't want Trump to win, be upset, but don't blame third party, don't blame white people, don't blame men, don't blame it on the invisible conspiracy of the patriarchy. Blame it on the fact that Trump voters, there were more people in the districts that mattered in the Electoral College that voted for Trump than voted for Clinton. That's what it is. If you don't like the way the Electoral College works, agreed. Clinton won the popular vote by a narrow margin, like a couple hundred thousand. Okay, like 1 or 2% she won by. Or she won the popular vote by 1 or 2%. Which means then, too, that the third-party argument is fucking relevant because she won the popular vote. The third-party argument you have is bullshit. And it's the same argument that was used against people who voted third-party when Obama was elected, when Obama was re-elected. Congrats, liberals. You're just as fucking idiotic as the fucking Tea Party. Good fucking job. This election has proven to me that the far left is the exact mirror image of the far right. It's just, instead of being uber Christian nutjob, they're uber fucking like this social Marxism, transgenderism, all this anti-whiteism nutjob. They're just as racist, they're just as sexist, they're just as ignorant. And they're just as science-denyingly caught up in their own ideology and resort to the same fucking tactics. Violence, ignorance, and pointing the finger at everyone else and blaming everything on everyone else but themselves. I am extremely disappointed in my country. Not because they elected Trump, but because of the reaction to it. My generation, the millennials, people my age and a little bit older and a little bit younger, you're fucking pathetic. Grow the fuck up. You have college educations. You have bachelor's and master's degrees. Okay? Grow the fuck up. You're not some fucking 12-year-old. You're a fucking 20-year-old. Most of you are old enough to fucking drink. If you're old enough to fucking drink, you should be old enough to swallow the pill that your fucking candidate doesn't always win. Take it from someone whose candidate never fucking wins. It's reality. Learn to fucking live with it. And if you don't like it, do what I've done multiple times and will continue to do in the future and am doing right now. Work to make the fucking change you want to fucking see. Like, I'm an advocate. No, a Facebook advocate is not a fucking advocate. Make videos about it. Run for fucking office. Petition for your fucking government. I've done all three. Go fuck yourself. I have had it with this. That aside, I am extremely ecstatic that it is going to be in to make fun of conservatives again. That they're no longer the little bitch. They're back to being the top dog, so it's okay to punch them in the nuts. That I am happy about. I miss making fun of conservatives a bit. I admit that. It's gotten stale to make fun of liberals. So I'll give you that. But yeah, I needed to get that out. I needed to get that out because Holy fucking shit. You have no idea how terrible you are making this country look. How weak you are making us look. And when I say weak, I don't mean like weak, like, oh, feelings. No, it's okay to show feelings. If you're upset and you guys all go out and you protest and you hold hands and you're like, hey, 2020, I understand that. But to get violent and to get so unreasonably and uncontrollably angry to whine and demand that the government fix it. I don't know how the fuck our nation's going to be able to handle anything in 20 years when people my age are all taking office. Because they're going to be the ones winning mostly. Unless at least half of these fucking millennials, my generation, learns the value of hard work, of doing things yourself, and that you can't rely on others to do shit for you. You've got to do it yourself. That you're responsible for your shit, and that reality is fucking reality. Until that happens, and if that doesn't happen, America's just gonna... It's not gonna be Trump that kills this country. It's gonna be people like President Anita Sarkeesian that will kill this country. Like I said, if you want to, for those of you fuckers who are like, oh, it's because they didn't want a female president. You know how many people, people voted for Jill Stein who didn't vote for Clinton? Me, even though I voted for Johnson and I think Stein's a bit too liberal for my taste, I would have been much happier with a Stein presidency than a Trump presidency. And of course, I would have been much happier with a Johnson presidency than any of them. And there were other people who ran too that probably would have done a better job than Clinton and would have done a better job than Trump will do. But you don't see that. You only see that as only your candidate matters. But of course, I'm going to stop picking on you poor little SJW pussies and move on to you gloating fucks who think that Trump's the fucking second coming of Yahweh or whatever the fuck you believe in. He's not. He's not perfect. He's not bringing about some new change, some good ideas. He's just as much the fucking establishment as Clinton was. He's the donor half of it. He's the donation side of the corrupt politician coin. Okay? So if you expect him to make things hunky-dory and to do away with all corruption, you're a fucking idiot and you don't understand shit. And you're almost as annoying as the SJWs that think Trump is fucking Hitler devil. Fucking Megatron Hitler Vader devil. He's not. But he's also not the savior you've been looking for. He is probably going to be just as mediocre as Obama, but for half the time, because, let's be honest, most of you baby boomers are going to die soon, so you're not going to be able to provide as many votes in as many areas as you did this time. The fucking truth of life. He's not going to be your savior. He may bring about a few good things. I hope he does. I'm being optimistic, as I would with Clinton. I would hope that Clinton would be, a little better of a president if she were elected too. I would be like, yeah, maybe she's doing this. I'd see some of the things she said and be like, maybe she's going to be good. Maybe she's going to crack down. As the first woman president, maybe she'll crack down on people behaving like children and be like, hey, I'm a mother of 3 or whatever. I think she's a mother of 2 or 1. Hey, I'm a mom. I know when people act like children. I don't tolerate people acting like children. You don't tolerate acting people. And be that fucking, lay the fucking mommy law down. I would hope for that. And I would offer the optimistic benefit of the doubt for her for that. And I'm doing that for Trump right now. I still think someone with a sense of humor like Johnson, who's done some things like Johnson has, would be president over these fucks. But who knows? Another thing I do want to talk about too is the discussions of the future have come out with maybe Michelle Obama next year. And it's like, okay, you haven't learned your fucking lesson, liberals. You haven't learned your fucking lesson. Don't put anyone associated with a past president up, especially if they can be linked to potential corruption. Okay? Obama is linked to potential corruption. Not as much as Clinton, but quite a bit himself. And you're going to link Michelle to it. You didn't learn your lesson. If he's still alive, try Sanders out. If not, try Elizabeth Warren. Sanders' apprentice, essentially. Elizabeth Warren would make a better female lead or better female nominee for the president of the United States for the Democratic Party than fucking Michelle Obama. Okay? Well, Elizabeth Warren is nuts, especially with believing that her excuses for being part Native American. She's just as Native American as I am. And it's insulting. It's insulting to pretend like that matters. Okay? Elizabeth, honey, you're not, you and I, 1/16th or 1/32nd or whatever, that doesn't matter, okay? Alright? Our Native American heritage probably involved a white man raping a fucking Native American, okay? Alright? So just wipe that away. Just stop with your fucking like, oh no, I'm fuck you. You're not, okay? You're not. We're not. We can admit that. I mean, we're Native American in the fact that we were born in the United States, for sure. But your skin ain't red, hon. Neither is mine. Unless I stand out in the sun too long. Then maybe I'm a Native American for a little bit. That's the other good thing. Those jokes, still good. With Trump, still fine to say that shit. Probably wouldn't be able to say it much longer under Clinton. She probably would have gone full Trudeau. And that's what we don't want. We do not need the United States going the way of Canada. Okay, I'm fucking sorry. We don't need it. So, I feel like we got not even the shiniest of two turds, just a turd. We have to deal with it. And make the best of it. He's going to be funny to watch. And if it is the destruction of the United States, at least it can be a damn good show. And I think we need to look at it that way. So before I continue on to some things about my local area, and for those of you who didn't blow your head off for me yelling, I'm going to check the chat. No one wants to talk to me. Probably was just an asshole on Facebook, that's why. Let's see if anyone else contacted me wanting to talk. I don't want to deal with anybody on Facebook right now. I'm really tired of them. I'm tired of the bullshit people are saying. They really don't understand. They're saying stupid shit. Yeah. Well, so it seems that no one's watching, which I understand. You know. So with regards of all of that out of the way, let's talk about California, my state. Good news first. Pot's legal here now. Yep, we passed it. It is legal to buy marijuana and for recreational use, which is awesome. Yes, there's going to be regulations on it. Yes, there's going to be taxes on it. Should it be taxed the same way that alcohol and tobacco are? No. And no, alcohol and tobacco shouldn't even be taxed that way. Don't believe in excise taxes. They're pointless and stupid. But now we have money, more money for California. Now we have less money being drained out of state and local fucking law enforcement to crack down on marijuana. And now we can all legally enjoy shit. Yeah, folks, if you're going to get a job, know not to smoke a month before. But I think also, to be honest, I think you're going to see drug screening phase out pretty soon too with that. They'll probably no longer be screening for the THC in marijuana. They'll probably just be screening for the drugs they should be, which, you know, are drugs like meth and heroin. So that's a good step. It's a good thing. However, California's done two stupid things. One of them, you'll think it depends on what you own and your political views a bit more. It's a little bit more controversially. Well, is it good or bad? The ammo law. Yeah, that's right. I need a permit and a background check to buy ammunition. And it's very likely that they may also compare the ammunition I'm buying to the registered weapons I have. Which means that I might not be able to buy ammo if I don't have the weapon registered. Who knows? It's extremely invasive, extremely stupid, going to destroy many businesses, and is just going to be a waste of time. It's annoying. The one that it doesn't matter about your politics, unless you... Which is ironic, because this happened in California, and it got like an overwhelming... Alright, I'll show it to you. I think it was Prop 63. Let's take a look. C-A... Prop... I believe 63. 63! Not propositions. Proposition 63. Oh, that was the gun control one. Was it 64? 64 was marijuana. Was it 57? Yeah! Let's take a look, kids. The California Parole for Nonviolent Criminals and Juvenile Trial Requirements Initiative, also known as Prop 57. A yes vote supported increasing parole and good behavior opportunities for felons convicted of nonviolent crimes and allowing judges, not prosecutors, to decide whether to try certain juveniles as adults. 63% voted fucking yes. The proposition increased parole chances for felons convicted of nonviolent crimes and give them more opportunities to earn credits for good behavior. So, let us go to Facebook. And let me show you guys. Like that. Good on this guy. Optimism is fuck. Alright, so we're gonna look up my homepage. Self-promoting like a boss. My fiance likes. Oh yeah, this. White people. What will we do to change our legacy of violence? Yeah, why don't you go tell that to fucking China? This I love. This made me laugh so fucking hard. I love it so much. I love Gary. Gary Johnson's so fun. This though. So let's X out of there. These are not violent felonies according to the to California. Assault with a deadly weapon. Deadly weapon and force likely. Battery with serious bodily injury, beating someone to near death. Solicitation to commit murder. Yes. Promising to commit murder or selling yourself as a fucking assassin. Not violent. Domestic violence. Beating your fucking spouse or kids. Not violence. Inflicting corporal injury on a child. Child abuse. Not violent. First degree burglary. Well, that actually isn't violent. Rape, sodomy, or oral copulation of an unconscious person or by use of drugging. Not violent. Really, sexual violence is not violence. Human trafficking involving a minor. Not violent. Not necessarily violent, but it should fucking count. It should be violent because it's kidnapping. Hate crimes. Well, yeah, hate crimes shouldn't even exist. There's no such thing as a hate crime. It is a useless term. You either are committing a crime or you're not. Hate crimes only exist as a form of authoritarian control. They are not real. arson of forest land causing physical injury. So, burning down a forest and hurting people due to it. Assault with a deadly weapon on a police officer. Yep, hitting a cop with a baseball bat. That's not violent. Active participation in a street gang. Well, I guess you could say that it isn't necessarily violent, but if it's gang violence, it is. And you could pair that with this one. Actively participating in a street gang, which to me, honestly, isn't necessarily... It's civil unrest. It's no different than a riot, necessarily, except for it's organized more. But pairing that... He was actively participating in a street gang and assaulted a peace officer. So he's going to get parole. He's going to get parole. Yeah, and his buddy who fucking raped a fucking kid for punishment. He's going to get parole too. This is California. California. With Governor Jerry Brown. Uber liberal, right? It's Trump who's bringing all this. Yeah. Exploding destructive device with intent to cause injury. Terrorism is not a violent crime. Did they change this to change the violent crime statistics, perhaps? Why would you fucking change this? And this wasn't Prop 57. I don't think it changed this. But fuck. Yeah. So if you're going to be upset about anything this election, anything that's happened, be upset about Prop 57 and the way California views violent crime, and be upset with anyone who is attacking third-party voters or who is blaming entire races or genders for the simple election of a blowhard. And for anyone who is overreacting, and you are all overreacting, if you are using the election of Trump as an excuse to play the victim card, you are overreacting, you are childish, go fuck yourself. I really am just beyond words with that. Now, some of my more liberal friends have just gone to protests, said fuck Trump a couple times, and then went home. And they felt better. They voiced their frustration, they felt upset, they went home, cried, ate some chocolate, and went to sleep. And went to work the next day. Those people need to be seen as examples for the rest of you fuckers. They're taking this in stride. I went to work the next day. I had to wake up at 9 a.m. and go to work after I worked till like almost midnight the night before. And I stayed up late dealing with all the idiots. Which I voluntarily did, of course, but you cannot pretend that this election has anything to do with your personal history. And whenever you comment on that, and the person says, well, you don't know because you're white, or you're straight, or you're male, or they assume shit about you. I don't know. I have been in arguments with people about minimum wage and been told I don't have to worry about it because I'm not a minimum wage worker. I have a secure job. I'm like, really? I do? When did I start? I work 2 minimum wage jobs, motherfucker. So I know a lot about working and living on minimum wage. It's not easy, and I understand. However, I've been on minimum wage for a long time, both living at home and not. And I always felt like I had more money a couple years ago when it was $8 than I do when it's 10. See, people don't understand. Now, that doesn't have anything to do with my character or my understanding of complete economics, me being minimum wage, but it definitely helps me understand what it's like to be on minimum wage. And yeah, I may not know what it's like to be black and be pulled over by police, but I have been pulled over by police, and I have had some pretty shitty experiences. I have dealt twice with old assholes who pulled me over for no reason, looking to give me a ticket where they could not give me one. Making up shit, saying I was speeding or swerving where I wasn't. First time, pulled over by a sheriff deputy. Why? Because I was trying to get around someone going 45 in a 60 fucking zone. When I leaned over to see if I could pass, in the passing time on the highway, it was not good. So I went back and waited. When I looked again and it seemed okay, I went back, put on my blinker, and went for it. The person behind me proceeded to speed and follow me. Then they pulled me over after another 2.5 miles of driving, which I think is illegal for doing what I did way back there, trying to bust me. Why was it? Probably because I was in a black car. I was driving in a Honda Civic, a black Honda Civic that was loud. Even though the person in front of me, probably a drunk driver. But me, driving at 2 a.m., young 18-year-old Mitch, yep, I'm the dangerous one. Using blinkers, providing enough space for the person behind me to get in, slowing down to a reasonable area, driving safe, signaling, checking image. I was driving recklessly. The old fucker, probably a racist too, because of my cousin's car, who happens to be Hispanic. And when I said it's not my car, it's my cousin's, he's letting me borrow it to drive to see a friend. I told him, he asked, what's the name of your cousin? And I said, James Garcia. You can check the registration. He said, Garcia, huh? Yes. Yep, but I don't know what racism looks like, because I'm white. Oh, and then the second time I was ever pulled over, I was driving a friend, taking a friend around doing some errands, and we passed by. There's a gas station, and if you live in Red Bluff, you live where I'm in. It's the gas station now called Noble. It's on the area where Gilmore and Antelope Boulevard meet. Big Flag, now it's Mobile. It used to be called USA, where Lucky Chinese was there. The same area as like Denny's and that. Well, the stoplight at the bottom of that is at the bottom of a fucking mini hill that goes up and back down to the other side. Didn't see the cop behind me at all. Apparently, though, sitting at a stop sign, once he came up, and there was at the gas station, there were cops there who were busting someone. So this cop was showing up to a scene. And when the cop pulled up behind me, and after the light went off, we drove, he flipped on his lights and pulled me over in the Denny's parking lot. I asked what was going on. He said, you were swerving. I said, no, I wasn't. It's like, yes, you were. I saw your lights. I was like, I didn't see you till after I stopped at the bottom of the hill. So you're full of shit, officer. And he proceeded to be a dick to me, and I was a dick to him. 2 other people showed up. He let me off without a ticket because he was wrong. I've been pulled over twice for no fucking reason. The one time I was pulled over for a legitimate reason, I was a month late on my registration. The cop gave me a ticket. The officer was polite, he was kind, and he was patient. However, 4 cop cars and 5 other officers decided to show up and wait. And it made me uncomfortable. It made me wonder if they were going to try and search my vehicle, if they were going to impound my vehicle. All of that went through my mind. But again, I don't know what it's like. I have no idea. I'm white. I don't deal with cops. I don't get to do with cops. I'm white. They pull me over. They give me $10. Here you go, Mr. White Man. Go on and be free. I'm going to go pull over this nigger. Yeah, that's how it fucking works in America. Oh, and you want to talk about assault? Ladies, have you ever been assaulted and when you reported it, the cops didn't do shit about it? Well, I have. Not long after I turned 18, maybe a month after, not even that, I had also just started getting my ROTC scholarship. Yes, kids, I was training to be an officer. Had I not fucked up, my brother would be saluting me right now. Go Army. Hooah, little bro. Hooah. Anyway, we, my friend and I, we were walking, again on Antelope Boulevard. We were walking, he lived, and this is what kids do. Kids used to do this. They used to be able to walk around at night, riding bikes, going to play video games at each other's houses and shit. We were about 18, 17, 18. I was 18. And we were walking back to my house, walking back from my house to his house, which was not far, not even a mile away, maybe, with a lot of lights and a big centered area, so it wasn't too shady. And a pretty good neighborhood, too. But there's one house, and these like fucking heroin trailer trash motherfuckers, and the type you'd expect to cook meth in their backyard. We heard these girls screaming, and me, being me, I ran up to see what was going on, and I thought it was their boyfriends teasing them or something. 3 guys who looked like they just got back from a fucking Juggalo rally. ICP, those fucking, I cannot stand that type. They look so fucking trashy and so, I do believe sometimes I'm racist towards white people. I cannot stand rednecks, and I cannot stand the ICP Juggalo meth head white trash types. I really cannot. It sucks because I work at a sporting goods store where we sell fucking Mossy Oak. I hate Mossy Oak. Anyway, back to it. I guess they were looking for someone, and they were intending to assault and kill this person. From what I heard from the girls, who I thought were being attacked. So we get to the corner where the street we were walking on, called Guernsey, meets Antelope Boulevard, which is one of the main streets in Red Bluff. It ends up turning into Highway 36. Or 99. Turns into 99. One of the two. It's a highway it turns into. I don't care. A van pulled up, and like 3 people jumped out. 3 or 4, I can't remember how many. I'm just going to say 3. 3 people jumped out, one of them being probably about 5'8", maybe 275 pounds. Big shoulders, big arms. Looked a lot like Russell from Survivor. The guy who wore he ended up, I think, winning or getting second place. He wore the fedora and like burned people's socks. And he's like, I'm going to fuck with these people. Looked just like him, but if he was a racist, ignorant meth head, missing some teeth. The guy jumped down. He's all, "Who is it?" And I just heard a woman yell, "Him." Oh, and by the way, the 3 guys with the 2 girls, they ran up to us. So there was at least, I'd say 5 or 6 people against the 3 of us. And just BAM! Right in the mouth. And it was where the top knuckles hit the top of my bottom teeth with my lip, so it dug my teeth into my lip, and the bottom knuckles had to hit my chin. That is a knockout punch in the UFC, and I leaned back and came back forward like those fucking things those things you punch where they go wow, wow, wow. The teeter-totter things. And just coming back, I was like, I'm gonna fucking kill him. I probably got blood and everything in his face. And seeing a little twig like I was back then just turn into this monster that just was like, I'm gonna fucking kill you. Probably scared him a little bit. And he was just like, "What you gonna do, nigga? What you gonna do?" And I'm just thinking like 2 things. 1, why is he calling me that? I'm white. It's honky. It's cracker. Use the correct fucking vernacular if you're gonna try and insult people. 2nd, fuck, don't hit the guy. You need to get that officer scholarship. You need to get into officers training. You need to do this. Just try and let it go and get away without dying and hurting him. So they ended up, the girl was just like, no, it's not him. And luckily I just got away with that. But it was scary. It was terrifying. Went to the hospital, didn't get stitches. I think I could have, but I didn't. We told the cop, we had a cop living on that street. A cop, the school cop, lived on that street, didn't do shit about it. My own fucking uncle, well, not uncle, he's related through marriage, tried saying that I instigated it. But I don't know what it's like to have to report assault or to have been assaulted. I have not relived those situations any other time than whenever I tell people about it. I do not take the election of an arrogant ass as a triggering of reliving my assault. Because let's face it, the fucker who hit me probably voted for Trump. Sorry, like I said. But I cannot get how people can assume your life based on the color of your skin, or what's in between your legs, or who you choose to fuck, or shit, even who you pray to, or if you choose to not pray to anything. And I really can't get how people can take something like an election as a spark to incite reliving such horrible things. Those are things you usually repress and are drawn out by similar experiences. So, what USJWs are trying to say is that the election of a loudmouth orange version of Tony Stark is similar to being raped or assaulted. If you think that, I really suggest you go to your nearest crisis unit and explain to them that you need severe treatment. Because you're fucking insane. And there may not be any help for you. Okay? That's not meant as an insult. I am genuinely concerned if you feel like that. If you really do. If you truly are reliving that because of it, and not just using it as an excuse or trying to one-up the person you're talking to, which is really pathetic if you think about it. Trying to be like, oh, well, I've been sexually assaulted. This is my sexual assault ID badge. Oh, really? Such a violent crime. Except if you're in California, of course. But such a violent crime that is deplorable and disgusting and deserving, the perpetrator deserving, who knows? They need to be at least removed from society if they do such a violent crime that robs people of their humanity when it happens. You can just wear it as a badge and just be like, it's an authority. And it's an appeal to authority when it's used, and that is sickening in itself. SJWs, take this election as a sign that you are way the fuck off base and need to really rethink how you think, how you are you, and what you believe in. Plain and fucking simple. Anyway, let's check the chat one more time. No one there. Yep, I have no one who wanted to talk to me, so it being just past 9, a little over an hour, I thank any of you who are watching right now, which I don't think anyone is. I believe it's just me. Just little old angry me. I thank anyone who watches this in the future. I really appreciate it. I thank everyone who was going to try and talk to me today, was going to try and join me, but can't. I hope, now this is a different friend than Jeff. Jeff for Justice, he's got something going on tomorrow. Make sure to check it out on his channel. I believe either one. Check out both. No more two-party system with a 2, and Jeff for Justice with a 4. Check them both out tomorrow at 6 p.m. Pacific, because I believe he's doing a live stream. You may want to check that out. He'll be talking with libertarians. You might want to visit that. Catch him before he goes on his break, because politics has obviously been fucked up this year. My other friend, Jeff, he's a friend, Jeff Foster. He's more libertarian like me, which, to be honest, I think Jeff's kind of in that spectrum as well, sort of. But Jeff is a bit more right-leaning libertarian than I am. It would have been great to hear his thoughts. He couldn't be with me, but I hope everything's okay with him. I hope he's doing fine. Destry, like I said, I couldn't get a hold of him in time, and I gave him really short notice, so sad he couldn't be with me, but I also don't blame him if he just wants to be away from politics, because right now it's been nuts, it's been incredibly stupid, and I'd probably not want to be around it either. I'm just a glutton for punishment. Please check out any other channels. Like I said, check out the platforms, check out what you can, and just to be honest, just try to be good. Just try to continue with your life. If you're so upset about the Trump election, realize that it could be worse. It could be a lot worse. There are plenty of people who wish that they could vote for anyone. And try to just carry on with your life. Don't use this as an excuse. If you're thinking about committing suicide because of this, don't. It's not worth it. It isn't. Very few things are ever worth ending your life, if any at all. And just try to be fun. Watch some funny videos. If you're subscribed to any crazy goofy YouTuber like Markiplier or PewDiePie or Matthew Santoro or something, Screen Junkie, CinemaSins, those funny goofy entertainment, binge the shit out of some of your favorite videos from them. That's what I suggest. Keeping those YouTubers employed and giving yourself some good laughs that are wholesome, that are hearty, that are much needed. That's to you, the SJWs who are upset about this. I'm offering this advice because I do genuinely care. You have no idea how many people who I consider friends are SJWs. And I deal with these guys on a constant basis, but they're people who they're people. And that's the thing. A lot of people, I feel like there's a lot of dehumanizing of our political opponents, especially in this election. A lot of people dehumanized Trump and his supporters. They were dehumanizing the third party. And I'd say a lot of people did dehumanize SJWs and Clinton supporters. These people are human. They feel. They have real life shit happening in their lives. Weddings, funerals, giving birth to children. They have plans and goals. They suffer from the same diseases and experience the same happiness as we do. They just get triggered at different shit. So, And you SJWs, do not dehumanize us. Do not dehumanize the Trump supporters. Do not dehumanize third party. We bleed just like you do. The third party voters are upset too. We feel even more disenfranchised because our vote doesn't matter, and no matter how this election turned out, we were going to get blamed for it. And don't shit on Trump supporters. Okay? They voted their conscience. They voted for who they thought would have been the better choice. They have just as many complaints about Hillary Clinton as you do about Donald Trump. So take that into consideration. And Trump supporters, take into consideration the reverse of what I just said. Everything you could say about the long list you have about Clinton, they have an equally long list about Trump. And a lot of them are legitimate claims. Some of them are stupid, just like some of yours are stupid. But some of them are at least somewhat legitimate. They do have somewhat of a point. Okay? Be good to each other. Be safe. Don't riot. Don't join a riot. If you're going to protest, do it in your house or go to somewhere that's obviously peaceful and leave quickly so that way you don't chance getting caught in a riot or getting hurt, especially if you're white. If you're white and you go to a riot, be fucking careful. You may think you're around people who agree with you, but you're probably going to be targeted for your race. Might teach you a lesson. But don't do it. So yeah. This election. Oh, I'll make this announcement. In the year 2018, your logical libertarian, Mitchell Drury, will be running again. I missed it this year, but I will be running for state Congress. Don't know if it's going to be assembly or state senate. Probably state assembly. The position that it's District 1 or 3, whichever one Gallagher won, up in Northern California. But I'll be challenging that office. I'll be the libertarian or independent, most likely independent. Libertarians will not support someone who has no experience, at least in holding office. And I'm aware this would probably be held against me, but I don't care. I'm speaking truth to people who need to hear it. Okay? So, thank you all for watching. You guys have a good and safe night. Democracy is not dead. The Electoral College does need to be changed. And you guys, I don't know, go fuck yourself. Something. I need to say something negative before I go, okay? I already said a bunch of negative shit. I can't leave on a happy note. Go fuck your guys' selves. Thanks for listening to me solo. I thought it was going to be completely different, but I'm glad it's over. You can be glad it's over. Go back to work. Enjoy the holidays. Bye.